Thank you for watching In Any Arena. If you like our content, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. All right, let's get into it. It's been a lot of great fights in 2022. We seen exactly what we needed to see throughout the pandemic when it comes to mega fights. We saw,
Canelo.
we saw Canelo beat an old Triple G.
Guessed it wrong. Guessed it wrong.
We both guessed it wrong. I didn't think Father Time would catch up to Triple G, but we saw it did. But in Triple G's defense, he said at the end of that fight, he's still a champion. And one thing that I was incorrect on last video is that they fought at super middleweight. So Triple G is still a champion at middleweight. He still has a belt at middleweight. He says he still wants to go on a tour and defend that belt. So hopefully he's able to do that. And I think he still has enough in the tank that some of those guys at middleweight probably don't want to fight him on this last leg. So, best of luck to Triple G as he goes on the tour to end his career. And, shout out to Canelo. He did what he had to do. I don't think it was impressive. He says he wants to go back up and fight Bivol again. I think he's going to take another L. But, every man chooses how he wants to live his life. So he wants to go take an L, he can take that L. But we talked a while back about what we predicted would happen after the Usyk-Joshua fight, which was another big fight in 2022. And my prediction was that Joshua was going to win. I was wrong on that. He's not who I thought he was.
Reoccurring theme.
Yeah, it's becoming one, and I don't like it. But he's not the guy I thought he was. But again, as I always say when it comes to boxing, styles make fights. I feel like Anthony Joshua has a much better chance against Tyson Fury, although Tyson Fury is one of the baddest men on the planet. No disrespect to Tyson Fury and his legacy. He's a lineal champion. He's been a unified champion in the past. But, it's kind of weird here that he's calling out Anthony Joshua to fight, and he's talking about all of this about we'll do it for Britain, and you've got Usyk sitting over here with all of the belts except for the one belt that Fury has. So do you feel like he's dodging Usyk? Like, how do you just pass up, another champion to fight Anthony Joshua, who has no belts and who we saw, didn't even stand a chance against Usyk? I mean, he didn't stand a puncher's chance. He looked slow in the ring. He looked a little more mobile than we've seen him look in some of the other defeats that he's had. But at this point, I mean, that's two losses to Usyk. Andy Ruiz gave him a good beat down a couple years back. So do you think Tyson Fury is dodging Usyk? And what do you think you'll see in that Tyson Fury Anthony Joshua fight?
Well, I'm gonna just say this. I hope y'all not dodging that comment, that like, and that subscribe treatment. We don't need y'all dodging that. We don't need y'all doing that. We need to go ahead and get y'all to go ahead and like and be engaged in those comments so we can, we like to talk junk in the comments. So we appreciate the feedback. We appreciate all the comments. So please, if you can, provide some comments, like, subscribe. But do I think Fury is dodging Usyk or Usyk, however you pronounce his last name? That's something to say. I honestly, I don't think so. This is the baddest man on the planet. I had the opportunity to watch Fury and
Joshua,
not Joshua.
Wilder.
I'm sorry. Fury and Wilder in person.
Right.
Last October. I can't believe it's already been a year. And he cold-blooded, man. Just his patience, his defense, his size, man. I was in the nosebleeds, and I could just see how big
he's massive.
Dude, he is a physical specimen. And then he just looked like a tub of lard. But he's solid, he's quick, he's nimble. Like, I don't think he's dodging, bro. I think this is gonna be. I think he needs a tune-up fight before he challenges my guy. I think he just needs a tune-up fight, and then I think he'd be ready to go ahead and get all those belts, man. What are your thoughts?
To an extent, I think he's dodging it. I mean, I don't see why you don't fight Usyk right now for all the belts.
Timing.
Timing is everything, but he has to he had to come out and agree to a fight, or otherwise he was gonna have to vacate the belt eventually. Usyk did kind of put out there that he wanted a break, he wanted to be with his family, and Usyk had there's a lot going on with the occupation of Ukraine, and he's still been fighting and representing his country. So hats off to him. I think he deserves a break. I think he deserves to spend some time with his family for sure. But I don't know. I don't know what I think. I think for sure Fury Joshua makes for a fight that's going to generate a lot of money. I mean, because it's two big names in the sport in the heavyweight division. It's Fury, and again, I mean, both of the guys are from that side of the water, that side of the pond, and so I think from that perspective, it's going to bring in a lot of money pay per view. But I think what could happen in this situation is if you see Wilder beat the Nordic Nightmare, he's got a fight coming up in November, tune-up fight for him to come back coming off of that loss in the trilogy to Tyson Fury. If you see him win his fight and somehow, some way, Tyson Fury is sleeping, he sleepwalks into this fight with Anthony Joshua, then I think what's going to happen is, let's say he sleepwalks into this fight with Anthony Joshua. So my prediction, because I made a prediction before the Anthony Joshua Usyk fight about what would happen with this whole Wilder Fury situation and this rivalry that these guys have. I think what could happen is that Fury could sleepwalk into this fight, lose to Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua has that belt. You have a situation where Wilder goes and he beats Anthony Joshua, because I think there's no way that Anthony Joshua beats Wilder. I think he knocks Anthony Joshua out. I think the only man on the planet that can beat Wilder is Tyson Fury, and we've seen that time and time again. With the exception of the one fight where he did knock Tyson Fury out, and we got that slow count. Nobody can deny that. We've all seen it. He was out. If the ref doesn't take that extra second in terms of not calling it, then it's a knockout. So there is one time that Wilder beat Fury, just like there's one time that Triple G beat Canelo, and he got shitted on the card, so to speak. So I think, man, what's going to happen is, again, maybe he sleepwalks into this fight. I think we're going to get a Wilder Fury 4. A lot of people say they don't want to see it again, but it's a, for what it's worth, it's a great fight. For 11 rounds, we getting all we can get. And again, we saw what happened with Manny Pacquiao and who was it, Marquez, where Manny Pacquiao had won 2 fights.
That's been many years ago.
They had one draw, and then the 4th fight came up. Nobody expects that Pacquiao's going to lose, and he knocks Pacquiao out cold. Like, Pacquiao became a meme.
Yeah, bro.
So
that meme was hilarious.
I think there was Juan Manuel Marquez. Don't quote me if I'm wrong on that, but so anything can happen in the ring at any given time, and we know what Wilder packs in those fists. He's still the bronze bomber. I'm not biased, but I'm just saying, if things line up, we could be seeing another Wilder Fury fight come the end of 2023 or early 2024. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in this Fury Joshua fight. Can Joshua beat Fury? I mean, he's going to have to switch up his whole style. He's going to have to come in a whole different guy. Will he do it? Maybe. He talks about, when he was a youth, just getting in trouble and everything, and boxing changing his life. But I think Usyk changed his life. And I think Andy Ruiz changed his life when he put him on that mat. And if he doesn't change up his style and come into this fight a new man, I think Fury's going to change his life as well. So in this fight, it's win or nothing. Like, if Joshua doesn't win this fight, he's done. There's no comeback tour. You're done at that point. From there on, you just a gateway that all of the heavyweights who want to get to that big fight, they're gonna go through him. And so he's gotta win it. It's a must-win situation for him. So we'll see what happens. But the bottom line is Fury dodging Usyk. Probably a little bit. I don't think it's a great matchup. You got a much smaller guy who, again, we saw what Tyson did in the heavyweight division, being smaller than a lot of the huge guys that he was fighting, and the type of rampage that he went on for many, many years, being one of the greatest heavyweight fighters of all time. So I don't think the Usyk fight is a great matchup for Tyson Fury. So it's smart for him to fight Joshua. We'll see what happens in that fight. But I do think, mark my words, we will get a Wilder Fury 4 at some point. And Wilder will have, some way, somehow, Wilder will have one of those belts. And in order to unify, you're going to have to go through him.
You heard it from JT. Boxing is extraordinaire. I'm not gonna say he, know everything, but he's really locked into the sport. I kind of just, I'm a spectator. I don't get into the minutia, but sure. I enjoy watching it. So I appreciate you sharing that context, and I just learned a lot just sitting back listening. Really,
for sure, bro. We got a lot more to talk about, so we'll see how it turns out.
All right.